imposter syndrome, it gets more pronounced as you go up too. So the more you grow, the more I experience that imposter syndrome. Do you have what are some strategies in that respect, I guess, to ground yourself, whether it be, say you're walking into a meeting room with someone that you idolized as a child and you never thought you'd be in the same room as them, working with them on a project or something of that nature. What kind of techniques can we use to kind of manage our anxiety in that respect?
I remember speaking to a tennis player about this a couple of years ago, and it was really interesting. So they'd just gotten onto the ATP tour, and they were about to go up against one of their teenage idols. They used to have posters of this guy up on his wall, all right, on their walls at home. And he was talking about the idea that he was not looking forward to the match.
Yeah.
Right. And firstly, he didn't want to get defeated. That was the first one of the first few sentences that came out of his mouth. Right. And so almost that lost mentality, right, coming straight into the conversation. But also that he held this person in such high regard, right, that he didn't want to disappoint them in their eyes, him in their eyes. Right. And so you've got these competing things kind of going on, right, that are kind of really interesting. And one of the things that came up in the course of that conversation was about the fact that that person was actually there on the decline of their career, and they were actually on the incline. They were just starting, right, to get going. And so putting yourself in the shoes of other people to kind of know, well, what do you think they would have gone through, right, in a situation like this? It's almost depersonalizing the experience, right? It's almost becoming a little bit mechanical about looking at that. So distancing yourself from the emotion, right?
Like a timeline as opposed to, yeah.
Absolutely. Right? That can be really helpful, right? To kind of do that. The other thing, man, is thinking through, well, what are some of the benefits, right, for me, as I go through this process of improving, right? And I have a mate of mine, Alan Nielsen, used to play for Tottenham, and Bayern Munich used to talk about this idea of the 1/3 rule, right? That you should always surround yourself, as you continue to climb up any sort of structure, whether it's sport or work or wherever, 1/3 of the people you hang around with should be worse than you in terms of performance, capability, knowledge. 1/3 should be your peers, your contemporaries, but 1/3 should be better than you. You should always be spending time with people who you consider mentors, right, and people who you're aspiring to kind of get to in different parts of your life, right? And I think one of the challenges that comes up as you climb whatever ladder it is, there's less and less people, right, as you go higher and higher. And so finding those role models, finding those mentors, right, is not just an activity you do when you're just starting out, right? It's got to be something that you keep maintaining and managing. It's a bit like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, right? You maintain those relationships and you keep finding other people, right, that you learn from, that can support you.